Hello, welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Jansen Brown. Thank you for joining us.
And I'm Peyton McDaniel. The Lincoln Memorial University community is mourning the death of trustee Sam A. Mars, Jr. Mars, 88, of Middlesboro, Kentucky, passed away Saturday. He held the longest term of service of any trustee in LMU's history, having served since 1973. Mars gave tirelessly of his time and talents and served on the Audit, Operations, Finance, and Properties Committee during his years on the LMU Board of Trustees. He served as chair of the Executive Committee and vice chair of the board for many years and was a generous donor. LMU President Dr. B. James Dawson reflected on Mars' impact on the LMU and the community.
Sam was truly one of the amazing board members for our institution. He joined the Board of Trustees in 1973 and finished his responsibilities on the board as a board member emeritus. There's no question Sam had a tremendous influence on our institution through some of the more difficult times in the history of Lincoln Memorial University. And now he has enjoyed seeing the growth and prosperity of the institution. He was one of those people who led with enthusiasm, but he was very decisive in his role. Well, of course, the facility that bears his name, the Sam and Sue Mars Performing Arts Center, was one of those opportunities that he saw to improve a facility on campus, and he certainly did that. In the early days, Sam was personally responsible for the renovation of some of the infrastructure and brought his own equipment, sent his own men over here, and they took care of some of the major needs, leaks in the sewer system and water system, and moving dirt to ensure that we had access to facilities on the campus. Sam Mars was without question one of those people who did whatever it took to ensure the success of Lincoln Memorial University.
Beyond his involvement with LMU, Mars was a former oil executive and successful businessman. He was principal partner in Mars Properties and owner of S.A. Mars Incorporated. He was a champion of the community he resided in, serving on many community boards throughout his life. He was past president of the Middlesboro Kiwanis Club, Middlesboro Chamber of Commerce, and Middlesboro Country Club. He served on the boards of the United Fund Drive, the Middlesboro Industrial Foundation, and the Bluegrass Council of Boy Scouts of America.
He will be missed by this entire region. He was certainly a person of influence, and he will be missed as a friend by many of us. Sam was one of those people who lived a full and abundant life, had a joy for everything that was going on, and fun to be around.
The family will receive friends at the Green Hills Funeral Home from 6 to 9 p.m. on Tuesday, September 27th. A funeral will take place at Covenant United Methodist Church at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, September 28th.
The Cumberland Mountain Fall Festival kicks off this weekend in Middlesboro with a full slate of live music and food vendors and crafters. Festivities kick off Friday and conclude Saturday night. One of the highlights of the event, which is in its 34th year, will be a performance by blues singer J.J. Thames on the Levitt Amp stage Friday night at 7. This will be Thames' second appearance in Middlesboro in less than a month. There will be continuous music with a variety of local performers taking the stage both days. Sunday Best, a popular country music duo, will perform both days. The winner of the Cumberland Mountain Fall Festival pageant will be crowned Saturday morning at 11. Other events include a par 3 golf tournament, a classic car show, an elite canine dog demonstration, and a performance by the faith-based Omega Force Strength Team. More information can be found at www.cumberlandmountainfallfestival.net. Homecoming is just around the corner at Lincoln Memorial University. This year, homecoming will be celebrated October 6th through the 9th. Beyond Tradition will be the theme of Homecoming 2016. The graduating classes of 1956 and 1966 will be spotlighted this year, along with dedication ceremonies for new buildings on the campus. Among the events will be the dedication of the new bell tower on the campus quad, dedication of the new golf house and facility, and the dedication of the new lacrosse building and field in the Harrogate City Park. Homecoming festivities kick off Thursday, October 6th with registration and the Rail Splitter 5K night run at the campus quad. Other highlights include the Alumni Association Welcome Home reception in the Tex Turner Hall of Fame room Friday evening, the President's Breakfast Saturday morning, the Athletes Hall of Fame induction in Tex Turner Arena, the reunion luncheon and family fun picnic on the quad Saturday, and Gather in the Gap, which will include live music. For more information, contact the Office of Alumni Services at www.lmunet 423-869-3611.
The Abraham Lincoln Library and Museum hosted its annual Kincaid Lecture series last Thursday. Dr. John Fay, professor and chair of the Department of History at Messiah College in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, spoke on the Bible and the Age of Lincoln. His lecture was based on his book, The Bible Cause, A History of the American Bible Society. Fay is the author and editor of 4 books: Why Study History, Reflecting on the Importance of the Past; Was America Founded as a Christian Nation, A Historical Introduction, Explorations in Christian Faith; and The Historian's Vocation, The Way of Improvement Leads Home, The Rural Enlightenment in Early America. The Dr. Robert L. Kincaid Endowed Research Center promotes the scholarly study and public understanding of the influence created by the Judeo-Christian ethic upon the era and the legacy of Abraham Lincoln. When we return after a short break, we'll have today's health tip.
What do we know about learning? It takes place beyond the pages of a book. We learn by exploring, by trying new things, by connecting, by sharing. We learn by taking chances and dreaming big. At Lincoln Memorial University, learning is beyond the books. It's everywhere.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer. I'm a barber.
A waitress.
A mom.
We're all part of your community.
Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
others not so much.
But that's life.
It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty.
Something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Welcome back. Dr. Melissa Day from the DeBusk College of Osteopathic Medicine brings us today's health tip.
Recently, we've talked a lot about prevention through nutrition and exercise, getting your routine health screenings, and smoking cessation. And so today is just going to be an extension of that, but more specifically, we're going to talk about oral hygiene. So your oral health has a lot to do with your overall health. More specifically, it can complicate the control of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, rheumatologic disorders, and even wound healing. So, like other parts of our body, our mouth has bacteria. And normally, when we brush or floss, it causes these tiny or micro abrasions in which the bacteria, which are mostly harmless, can have access to the bloodstream. Well, normally with good hygiene, with the proper defense system, our bodies just take care of that and keep the overgrowth of bacteria down. But with certain conditions and with improper oral hygiene, that bacteria can overgrow and complicate things. So certain conditions that cause your body to have a poor defense system or can make you resistant is like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, smoking, whether that's, or nicotine, whether that's smoking or chewing, to name a few. Even some medications like antidepressants, certain painkillers, certain decongestants can reduce saliva flow. And saliva is important because it helps to wash away the food, it helps to neutralize the acid the bacteria produce to, again, cut down on the overgrowth of the bacteria. So with that being said, make sure you take care of your mouth. Brush your teeth twice a day, floss, do mouth rinses once or twice a day. Strive for a low sugary diet, so decreasing your amount of intake of like sugary drinks, sugared snacks, getting more water, getting more fruits and vegetables, and then most importantly, make sure you're seeing your local dentist for a cleaning routinely.
The Lincoln Memorial Medical Clinic has scheduled dates for students, faculty, and staff to get their annual flu shot. While recent summer-like temperatures may not have you thinking about the flu, winter weather and the flu season are just around the corner. Flu shots will be given Tuesday, September 27th in the DCOM Student Lounge from 1:30 to 3:30. On October 4th, flu shots are available at Avery Hall from 1:30 to 3:30. Employees and students must bring a copy of their insurance card and driver's license. More details are available on the My LMU website. Community members can schedule an appointment for flu shots at the LMU clinics in Harrogate and New Tazewell. After a break, Brandon Burke will be back with a recap of this past weekend's sports news.
Strawberries? Okay.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back. The Lady Rail Splitter volleyball team suffered their first South Atlantic Conference loss of the 2016 season on Friday after falling to the undefeated Bulldogs of Wingate University, but the following day, Lincoln Memorial would bounce back. The Lady Rail Splitters knocked off the Cobras of Coker University in straight sets just 24 hours after losing in straight sets to Wingate. LMU took care of business on the road, beating Coker 25-14 in the first two sets before holding on to finish out the sweep in the final set 26-24. Lincoln Memorial is now 7-0 in the all-time series against the Cobras, and with the victory, LMU improves to 9-2 overall with a 6-1 mark in conference matchups. The Lady Rail Splitters continue their conference game slate on Friday, September 30th against the Catawba Indians at the Sam and Sue Mars Gymnasium at 7 o'clock. LMU will follow that up with another home contest the following afternoon against the Royals of Queens University. The LMU men's soccer team ended their two-game losing streak on Saturday by defeating the Bears of Lenoir-Rhyne University 1-0. The Rail Splitters would score the only goal of the contest in the 25th minute after freshman Felipe de Souza notched his first collegiate goal that was set up by junior striker Danilo da Silva. Lincoln Memorial would shut out Lenoir-Rhyne for the remainder of the afternoon, and with the win, LMU improves to a 5-3 overall record with a 2-2 mark in South Atlantic Conference play. LMU's last two victories have come in the form of a shutout. The Rail Splitters will have 1 week to rest before they're back in action, as on Saturday, October 1st, LMU will travel to Wingate, North Carolina to take on the undefeated Bulldogs at 4:30 p.m. The Lady Rail Splitters' Saturday afternoon soccer contest with the Lenore Ryan Bears did not end in celebratory fashion as Lincoln Memorial fell victim to yet another shutout, 4-0. LMU relinquished all 4 goals to the opposing Bears in the first half, including surrendering 3 scores in a 16-minute stretch. The offensive woes for Lincoln Memorial would continue throughout the day, as for the 4th time in the 2016 season, LMU failed to put any points on the board. With the 3rd consecutive loss, Lincoln Memorial falls to 1-6 on the year and 1-3 in SAC matchups. The Lady Rail Splitters will attempt to put an end to their 3-game slide when they travel to Wingate, North Carolina on Saturday, October 1st for a 2:00 p.m. first touch with the Bulldogs of Wingate University. The Cumberland Gap Panthers football team lost their 4th consecutive game on Friday night as the Pineville Mountain Lions defeated the Panthers 37-18. After winning the 2016 season opener against Hancock County, the Gap has registered 4 straight losses and will now look ahead to a home matchup with the 9th-ranked team in the region of Tennessee, the Sullivan North Raiders, this Friday night, September 30th. This will be the LMU Sports Network Old Town Grill Game of the Week, with pregame coverage beginning at 7:00 p.m. on 91.3 FM WLMU. Other scores from around the area in high school football. In Tennessee, the Claiborne Bulldogs dropped to 2-3 after a 64-14 drubbing on the road at Granger County. The Cougars of Campbell County had no problems extending their record to 6-0 with a 57-7 blowout of Cott County. The Union County Patriots would drop to 0-6 on the year after falling to Scott 52-8, and the Indians of Hancock County picked up their 2nd victory of the season by defeating Cosby 36-0. In Kentucky, Jellicoe would fall in a close battle to Lynn Camp by the score of 40-38. Harlan defeated the Middlesboro Yellow Jackets 25-14, and Bell County was in their bye week with no games on Friday. And lastly, in Virginia, the Thomas Walker Pioneers were defeated by Eastside 24-0, dropping their record to 1-4. Well, it was a busy day in the world of college football on Saturday, but one of the biggest headlines throughout the afternoon was that the streak is over. The Tennessee Volunteers finally defeated the Florida Gators 38-28 in one of the most lopsided rivalries of the past decade in the Southeastern Conference. After coming up on the losing end 11 straight times to the Gators, the Vols picked up the biggest win in head coach Butch Jones's 4-year tenure and now hold the top spot in the SEC East. With a checkerboard-style Neyland Stadium and a sold-out crowd on hand, the Volunteers fell behind 21-0 and trailed 21-3 at the halftime break. Then, in the second half, the wheels fell off for Jim McElwain and the Gators. After 5 unanswered touchdowns, Florida found themselves doing little chomping and more hanging their heads. Tennessee outgained Florida in the third quarter 154-8, and senior quarterback Joshua Dobbs led the way with a career-high 319 passing yards and 4 touchdowns to go along with 80 rushing yards and 1 more touchdown. His performance earned him the SEC Offensive Player of the Week honors. After starting the season 4-0 for the first time since 2004, Tennessee now looks forward to next Saturday when they travel between the hedges to take on the Georgia Bulldogs at 3:30 p.m. on CBS. In Lexington, Kentucky, the Wildcats have now recorded back-to-back victories after suffering back-to-back losses to open the year. In what seemed like could be a disastrous year for head coach Mark Stoops in Kentucky after losses to Southern Miss and Florida, the Wildcats handled New Mexico State last week and last Saturday picked up a big SEC East win at home over the South Carolina Gamecocks 17-10. Kentucky now improves to 2-2 in 2016, but must quickly turn around to face the #1 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide next Saturday at 7 o'clock on ESPN. The 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series and the chase for the Cup continued in New Hampshire on Sunday, and it was Kevin Harvick who picked up the win. Matt Kenseth, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, and Kurt Busch rounded out the rest of the top 5, and the next race will take place on Sunday, October 2nd in Dover, Delaware at 2:00 p.m. That's all for sports over the weekend, but stay tuned as more LMU Community TV news after this.
This is why you get by on 4 hours sleep. Why you took a second job. This is why you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing and spend hours juggling the bills. This is why you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Now more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert today.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Hello, I'm Joseph Lewis, bringing you all the latest information in the world of movies. Tops at the box office this weekend were led by The Magnificent Seven, Antoine Fuqua's remake of the Western classic, taking $35 million in its debut. Although the film has been met with lukewarm reception from critics, audiences have reacted quite positively, and the cast appears to be the real draw here, in particular leading man Denzel Washington, for whom The Magnificent Seven ranks as one of his biggest opening weekends. Following at number 2 is the weekend's other major newcomer, Storks, pulling $21 million for the 3 days. A family-friendly animated adventure directed by Nicholas Stoller of Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Neighbors, Storks is a strange pairing of content with talent, and even stranger is the film's plot, centered around a human child born and raised in a baby manufacturing corporation operated by the titular birds. Hijinks, predictably, ensue. Coming in at number 3 was Sully, Clint Eastwood's big screen retelling of a true story of heroism, adding $13 million onto its now $92 million domestic gross. The undeniable star power of Tom Hanks, in conjunction with director Eastwood's historically positive reputation among critics and audiences, undoubtedly factor into the film's strong performance, which notably includes one of the largest September openings of all time. At number 4 was Bridget Jones's Baby, the third entry into the romantic comedy franchise, taking just over $4 million toward its now $16 million gross. With Renee Zellweger returning to the role after more than a decade, Bridget Jones's Baby has been received very positively by critics, though box office receipts seem to point toward a lack of general interest from audiences in the continuing adventures of the hopeless spinster. And finishing out the top 5 was Snowden, Oliver Stone's part biopic, part political thriller, also snagging just over $4 million for the weekend toward a total gross of $15 million. Although audiences have taken to the film more kindly than critics, everyone seems to agree that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's central performance is strong, though Stone himself has been criticized for tempering his ordinarily bold, uncompromising approach. As October nears, the successful horror film Don't Breathe and the less successful but still profitable Blair Witch have both fallen out of the top 5 with under $4 million each, while DC's Suicide Squad, the domestic thriller When the Bow Breaks, and Laika's stop-motion fantasy Kubo and the Two Strings are just barely hanging in the top 10. This coming weekend heralds the release of Tim Burton's latest, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, opening alongside the real-life disaster saga Deepwater Horizon, the long-delayed comedy Masterminds, and Disney's chess drama Queen of Katwe. That's all for today in the world of movies. I'm Joseph Lewis.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes, but with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. big time.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
That will do it for today's edition of the LMU Community TV Tri-State News. I'm Peyton McDaniel.
And I'm Jansen Brown. Thank you for watching.